So this is our final question that they were prepared for. Like I said, this one just half an hour before, and it is on social and affordable housing. What policies are you committing to in order to balance the need for short-term holiday accommodation with the need for affordable housing, rental and ownership for the Caloundra electorate? Jason.
So it's almost a repetition of the previous question. So there'll be.
She'd like to see if you answer the same way or differently. It's a test.
Good. Keep us on our toes. So land release is obviously one. Affordability is one, and cost of living impacts on those things. I was at a construction site today of Tay Avenue, and the mix of units in that development has already starting to look at some intelligent design around X number of single bedrooms, X number for holiday rentals, and X number for permanent tenancy. There's also, we need to have a sensible discussion on the sunny coast about density of living. So when we talk about density, people tend to hesitate and think that we're talking about 40-storey buildings on the foreshore, like the Gold Coast. We're not talking about that. We've got an excellent example of it in Olm Street, where there was 2 social houses there, which accommodated 3 people in each social house. They were knocked down, and just a three-storey complex was put there in its place, which will now accommodate 32 people on exactly the same footprint of land for only 3 stories. So I think we do have to have some conversations about, some sensible conversations about density. Again, I stress, I'm not talking about 40-storey skyscrapers on the high tide mark, but just increases in density right across the coast, not concentrated in particular areas, but right across the coast, because Caloundra is growing, that is inexorable, but we need to make sure that we can manage that growth and also spread that growth, because at the moment it's all happening down the southern end of the Sunshine Coast. It's already a sort of Aura, Palm View area, so we have to look at the distribution of the population and process.
Kendall.
Okay, so as we, had a similar question before, so we're committed to working with local governments to unlock land. We will be delivering 1 million homes over the next 2 decades. We require better planning around that growth and that population growth and the infrastructure required to go with it. We have a $2 billion investment fund to unlock new housing and also build 53 additional social homes. We also have our solar for renters scheme where everybody wins, so electricity bills go down once again. And also what I'd really like to address is that in order to build those 1 million homes, it should be acknowledged that we also have 90,000 tradespeople short in southeast Queensland. So until we address the skills shortage here, there won't be anybody that can address the housing shortage, and all of these things are tied together in terms of future-proofing Caloundra and future-proofing Queensland. So we've committed to building a $78 million TAFE Centre of Excellence in Caloundra, and that will have a 100% focus on construction trades to motivate, inspire a whole generation and beyond of kids to upskill, make becoming a tradie a really exciting and wonderful option, and it's accessible because it's right here in Caloundra. So, thank you.
Thank you. So yes, again, I would reiterate our plans for public housing, affordable and sustainable housing, and building homes, which are mortgages for people who want to buy. I agree that we need responsible development, that we do need to think about using space that we've already got developed and making that denser, but sustainable and livable. Public housing doesn't have to be horrible. We can make really beautiful public housing. I do appreciate that Caloundra is a tourist city and we do need accommodation, but we need to balance our need for tourism with our needs as residents. I certainly have concerns about short-term rentals like Airbnbs where we have empty houses for much of the year, and we need to consider how to restrict that practice. I would also acknowledge that we're going to probably need more tourist accommodation with the Olympics coming, but I'd like to see that how we could work on that and maybe then using that accommodation for social and affordable housing after the Olympics so that we all win.